Hey guys, what's going on? It's Nick from Visionisto, your Fort Lauderdale SEO consultant. So today I wanted to put together a quick tutorial on how you could optimize your on-page SEO for 2019. A lot of these strategies carry over from 2018. They're tried and tested. If you're not doing them, I recommend implementing them as soon as possible. They're really, really easy. On page SEO, if you follow the step by step process, you could really, really take advantage of some quick wins and some quick SEO results, at least for some long tail keywords early on, and then with some continual optimization and link building and other strategies, you could rank your site within a few months. So today I put together a top 10 list. These are, again, they should not be avoided. They're really quick. You should be able to knock a lot of this stuff out. I would say 80 to 90% within an hour if you're proficient in your website admin. If you don't have a CMS like WordPress or something like that, or Magento, BigCommerce, Shopify, etc., maybe it's just an HTML static site with no CMS like WordPress, etc., then it may take you a bit more time because a lot of the HTML tags would have to be hand coded versus using some pre-built tools in CMSs such as WordPress. But still, if you're familiar with HTML, you should be able to knock those out within a few hours. If you have a CMS like WordPress, I don't see any reason why you can't take care of 80% of these SEO strategies, on-page SEO tactics within an hour or so. So let's just jump right into it. So we see my screen right here. We see my WordPress admin. We have a page that I was building out specifically for lawyer SEO. We've had some real good success stories over the past year or so. Our office is located in downtown Fort Lauderdale, very close to the Fort Lauderdale courthouse. And of course, when you're close to a courthouse, you're also very close to law firms, attorneys, lawyers, etc. So we've had some really good success with some local law firms. So we figured, why not build out an an internal page specifically for lawyer SEO. This way we could try and rank in our local area in Fort Lauderdale for that specific keyword. So number one, we'll just jump right into it, and I will link or itemize the top 10 lists in the description of this video. So you could reference it after this video is uploaded. So no need to type the top 10 list unless you want to take notes. But let's just jump right into it. So number one, we want to make sure that our URL is SEO friendly. There's tons of signals from Google suggesting that a short URL, keyword-rich URL for that matter, is good for SEO rankings. So our keyword is actually lawyer SEO. So if we get to rank this page for lawyer SEO in our local area, that would be a huge win. So to start out, we're adding that to our URL. Nothing more, nothing less. That is our keyword, so that's what we're shooting for. Our title tag, number two, we want to make sure that the keyword is found in our title tag. So we have here, this is a working title tag, but we see lawyer and SEO firm, SEO in downtown Fort Lauderdale. So what I want to do here is I want to update this to lawyer SEO downtown Fort Lauderdale. Again, we have a working title here. This will actually jump into number three, which is a modifier. We want to add a modifier to our title tag. This actually creates some call to action. increases your click-through rate in Google. So once this page starts ranking in Google, even if it's on the second page and someone's looking for an SEO agency in Fort Lauderdale that specializes in attorneys, law firms, etc., we want to have something like, I'll just type it out for you here. So law firm in Fort Lauderdale, and then maybe something like ranked best in 2018. So that would be our title tag modifier, just throwing that in there. Obviously, it stands out from the front part of the title tag and creates, something eye-catching for the user. And again, you could use a call to action, something like, let's see, maybe something like download our top SEO secrets for attorneys. Now, obviously, this went over, we're using the Yoast SEO plugin. You see the bar here turn red. That means we're going over the character limit. So again, this will be a working title, but adding that modifier to your title tag creates some good urgency for the user, makes it eye-catching. Let's just say we're searching for a florist in Fort Lauderdale. See if anybody's taking advantage of that modifier. So all pretty much standard stuff here. But if someone had in their title tag maybe something like Yelp as a directory, so it doesn't really help, but ranked best Fort Lauderdale florist 2018, something like that, something really eye-catching will help. So in any event, that's really important and a good strategy to use. So that was number 3. So number 4, we want to make sure that we're wrapping our title of the page in an H1 tag. So I am using WP Bakery Page Builder for my internal pages. It creates all these little widgets within the page. So up pops this little box here, a little bit different from the native WordPress CMS. Just makes it a bit easier to manage some of the content if you're building some content-rich pages. I recommend it. So going back to wrapping your initial page heading in H1. So this is my page heading. SEO for lawyers in Fort Lauderdale just got easier! Exclamation point. And we see that our element tag, we have the option from H1 all the way to a div tag. But since this is going to be the first heading seen on the page at the top of the page, we want to make sure that it's wrapped in an H1 tag and that it contains keywords that are focused on this page, what we're looking to rank for. We're looking to rank for SEO for lawyers and then our local area. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5, we want to make sure that we have some multimedia on the page. Now that could be anything from a standard image on the website showing some rankings for a specific client, or maybe a case study. Case studies are great for SEO pages. Not only does it provide your user with some good information visually, but it also decreases dwell time on the specific page. Increases dwell time and decreases bounce rate. So dwell time is basically the amount of time. It's a measurement that Google uses. The amount of time spent on a specific page, the better the improved time is. It's a signal, obviously, to Google saying, "Hey, this page has some great information." Okay, and then jumping into number 5, we want to make sure that we have some nice multimedia on the web page. Now, this could be anything from images to case studies. Obviously, images, you want them to be related to the service that you're promoting, the service or product that you're promoting. We want to make sure that they're relevant. They're obviously tagged with their alt tags. They're named specific to the page or the keyword. Beyond that, case studies are great for SEO ranking. It increases dwell time and decreases your bounce rate, which are both signals to Google that this web page is exactly what users are looking for. When people go to web pages and they're on it for 2 seconds and they bounce, it's a signal to Google that your web page is not what they were looking for based on their specific keyword search. And too high of a bounce rate, and you could be bumped from your positioning within Google. So keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you add some good multimedia that's going to increase engagement on the site. Number 6, very similar to number 4, where we were wrapping our main titles in the H1 tag. We want to make sure that throughout the page, our headings include our keywords or variations or LSI keywords, as we see here, but we want to make sure that they're wrapped in the H2 tag. So these are subheadings throughout the page. Obviously, we want to make sure that there's one H1, and that is found at the top of our page, one H1, and then all of our subheadings would be H2. And then if we have a sub within this specific block of content, then that would be H3 and so forth and so on. So we want to make sure that our H2s are present throughout. Keyword density. We want to make sure that our keyword is found in, throughout the page, of course, but it's really important to make sure that the keyword is found on the page within the first paragraph, within the first 75 to 100 keywords. And that's what we're going to make sure that we do within this block of text here. We're going to make sure that, lawyer SEO is found within this text. Obviously, it's going to give a nice signal to Google that this page is exactly what we're looking to rank for. And hopefully it ranks and it's what the user was looking for. Because if it's not, then Google will penalize the page and push it down. Number 8, we want to make sure that the site is mobile friendly. Obviously, if you're familiar with SEO and you follow recent trends, Google announced mobile first indexing. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like, that they're giving preference to mobile pages. So we want to make sure that how the website is seen on mobile works perfectly. We want to make sure that it loads fast. We want to make sure that all of our content is perfected, and so forth. If you have a separate mobile site, which 2018, I would not suggest. I'd ensure that you have a responsive site, meaning that it's one set of files that respond to the specific device that a user is on. If you're on a desktop, it's going to give you the full version. If you're on a mobile, obviously it's going to be a condensed version, but they're getting a very, very similar experience. The content is the same throughout, no matter what device they're looking for. Now, if your site is an HTML site, it's not a CMS site, and within it has a separate mobile site, and you check your indexing on Google, you may see that the mobile site is ranking, or specific mobile pages are ranking higher than your desktop homepage, for example. So this is just something you want to keep an eye on. I would suggest transitioning over to a responsive site. This way, everything is in one location. Obviously, it's a lot easier to manage. You don't have to worry about 2 separate file systems, etc. But the overarching theme here is that you ensure that your pages that load on mobile are fast. They're indexed obviously by Google. That's paramount to anything else. It's not going to be seen if they're not, unless they're going to the page directly. but just really keep that in mind. Okay, number 9, outbound links to authority sites. So you'll see throughout some of this content, I'm linking to internal pages on our site. But what's really important, and what a lot of SEOs fail, or webmasters fail to do when ranking a website, is link to authority websites, linking outbound. Now, for SEO, one of the main ways to rank your site is building links from other websites that link to your website or a specific page. That's obviously clear. We understand that. But what's still a little murky in the industry is linking from your page to outside web pages and websites. Now you may think, well, why do I want to link to another site? Well, you want to tell Google that you're giving credit for the information that you have. Now, on my site specifically, it's SEO content, and we obviously follow Google Webmaster guidelines. So anytime I, specify a fact, or there's a fact outline in one of my posts or pages, you know, it's very common that these facts came from Google directly, came from their Google Webmaster guidelines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link to that source. Where did I get that information from? So I'm going to link to the specific page where I got that information. And Google's going to see that, and they're going to take note of it. They're going to say, hey, this guy's doing the right thing. He's citing his sources, for lack of a better term. And it's going to be a good signal in Google's eyes. So keep that in mind. You're not just looking for inbound links, although it's important to ranking a website in 2018, 2019, or inbound links from other sites. But you want to shoot for 2 to 4 outbound links. It's pretty natural throughout your content. If you have 1,000 words, 2 to 4 is good. 2,000 words, you maybe 3 to 5, 3 to 6 range. I think you're in a good place there. All right, number 10, the final point on our top 10 on page ranking strategies for 2018, 2019. Internal linking. As I mentioned earlier, we see some links going to internal pages. We want to make sure that these are found throughout the site, throughout the page. I think it's common 2 to 5, internal links per page. And this is really simple. Anytime you mention a specific service that's not, let's say I'm doing promoting a service for Google Ads, or just mentioning it within the content, I could actually internal link there. Or if I'm referencing a blog post that I made. So if I'm writing a new blog post for today, which happens to be November 5th, 2018, but I'm referencing a fact or something from October or September, or maybe even last year, I'm going to link to that blog post. So it's very healthy. Again, very good signal to Google that you're doing all the right things. Okay, guys. So that is our top 10 list for on-page strategies. Really very simple. Again, I think you can knock a lot of the stuff out within an hour's time. And again, it's going to put you in a good position to rank your website in 2019. I'm going to drop in the content in the description. I'm going to give you that top 10 list. Follow it. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments section. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help answer. And then, we'll go from there. I'll keep these tutorials coming, and we'll see if we can help out some local SEOs or local Fort Lauderdale businesses with our video content. All right, guys. Cheers.